Kenny, wait! Oh my God. There's no handrail here. This could have been a lawsuit.
Hey guys, I'm Attorney Rosas over here. I'm with my best friend Orlando Gari from O&G Outside Projects.
Today we're teaming up to teach you guys how to stay out of legal hot water and make sure that you have a safe and up-to-code dock.
It's important to know that if someone gets injured, especially it's in your dock or your deck, you could be responsible for that, right?
That is 100% true. A lot of people think that the responsibility falls on the contractor, but there's many ways that the contractor can wipe his hands and blame the homeowner. So be careful.
In here, I see that it's floating. So it's a floating dock, right?
Correct.
Do you do that at your company at O&G?
We do floating docks at O&G, and there is certain precautions that you do take because they are not stable. Okay, floating docks are not like a stationary dock. They do move. Okay, so something I recommend floating docks residentially if it's going to be used by just a handful of people. I don't recommend them for parties. I don't recommend them for big gatherings.
For the clients, it depends on what they want.
Correct.
So you tailor whatever you're going to be building for them and their dock, their deck, on what the needs are for that specific person or that specific business.
100%.
Okay.
There are certain things that I do recommend when you are building a dock on your house. Okay. One way that you can easily avoid any kind of lawsuits is, building a proper handrail. That's number one, just to make sure that people don't fall off your dock into the water, get injured or anything like that while hosting a party.
Orlando, what are some of the things that you tell, for example, your business owners when you're on the lookout, to building them a possible deck or a dock? Can you tell us a little bit of some tips or what recommendations you make to them?
Of course. I would love to. That's a great question. It's a question that I get often. Believe it or not, a lot of people are not well informed on this matter. Quick tips are, make sure you follow code guidelines, okay? You can have access to that on your county website. You can call the county directly yourself. Ask them yourself, hey, what are the guidelines? What are the codes that are associated with the project that I will be doing, okay? If you have a trusting contractor, you can ask him these questions. Quick tips from my end is, one, make sure you have railing. If you're gonna have multiple people on your dock and it's a business and you wanna protect yourself from anybody falling because you don't have the proper precautions in hand, that's fine. One quick way you could do that is build a handrail. Now the handrail also has to be up to code, which is something your contractor should know. Second thing you could do is make sure the proper hardware is installed, okay? Proper hardware has to be installed in order for this to be a long-lasting structure, okay? That means hurricane clips, the correct bolts, the correct nuts and screws. All that comes together to build a solid structure.
Yes.
And then the third thing would be vet your contractor. Vet them. Check their work. Get referrals. Get to see their reviews. Just make sure that they are, who they say they are and that they know what they know, okay? And a couple questions that I would say you should ask your contractor if you're going to hire somebody to do work on your business for sure is, hey, have you had any experience in this county? Or are you aware of the codes and regulations for a project like this? If the contractor can give you a concise answer that matches with some of your previous research, then he knows what he's talking about. Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. So that's good. Those docks or decks are not cheap.
No,
definitely. So how much would it run to the floating dock that we just saw a moment ago? How much would it cost?
Something like that, you would be looking at about $65 to $70 a square foot, okay? Now, there is a minimum square footage required for a floating dock. Has to be minimum 6 feet wide and 10 feet long. So if you do the math, that's already 60 square feet. You times that by 65 or 70, it's a pretty penny. So definitely you want to protect your investment.
You want to do due diligence. You want to make sure you ask the questions. Do I need a railing? Should I get it? How much would it cost? Do you want to invest on protecting the business invitees, people that you're going to be profiting from? Or your party invitees, like the people you're inviting to your house? Do you want to protect them, or are you okay with going at it? Do you want to save that money?
Do you want the legal headaches? No, I feel like if you're building a dock, you're building a dock to have fun with your friends and family. The last thing you need is a headache. Okay, so take the proper precautions from the beginning, know the legalities associated with them, and understand what the process. And it's a very expensive process in terms of what this structure is going to cost. Protect it and take the proper precautions.
Most definitely. So another thing you mentioned too is to keep in mind the proper hardware. We're in Florida, hurricanes,
oh, my
right?
Goodness,
So
yes.
you want to make sure that it's something that is good quality.
Correct. Yes. And one big thing I see in this industry, Rosas, is right behind us, we have, we're here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We're at Armature Works, and right behind us here we have the Hillsborough River. Okay. Now, the Hillsborough River is what you're considered brackish water. Okay. Now, there's a difference between stainless steel hardware and galvanized, hot dip galvanized. If you're in fresh water with no salinity, you can use hard dip galvanized and still be protected. Now, you switch that over to brackish water or salt water, like in the Bay areas, you cannot use hot dip galvanized. You need to use stainless steel. They will rust out like no tomorrow. So proper hardware. One thing you should ask your contractor, hey, I'm aware that, I am on brackish water. I want to make sure that the quote includes stainless steel. Because some contractors will cut corners because stainless steel is double the price of hot dip galvanized. Very important question to ask. Yes, sir.
Definitely. So is there different types, like you mentioned brackish water. Can you explain what that is? And then what is the other types of water that we're looking at?
Yes. So brackish water is basically when you have some sort of salinity, but it's not 100%. It's not like the ocean. Okay? You have a mixture of both. You have a mixture of fresh water and salt water coming together, and that's considered brackish water. Okay? You have your 100%, fresh water. That's your lakes, your ponds, your retention ponds, things like that. Okay? And in full salt water, you're looking at your Bay Area. You're looking at your saltwater canals in between houses, things like that.
Oh, good to know. So. Important to know, not every water is the same water. So
it does vary, and the hardware associated varies as well.
Interesting.
Okay?
Interesting.
Yes.
The cost itself varies too, depending on which type of water you're working on?
That is 100% accurate. The costs do vary. The licenses and insurances required are different. So make sure that your contractor has the proper licenses and insurances to do this kind of work.
So awesome tip right there. You want to have a proper contractor with the proper license. Make sure it's insured.
Correct.
Make sure that they have a reputable reputation, that it's within the community. Maybe ask around. Maybe your neighbor has a dock or a deck, right? And then that's how you get a lot of referrals from your business too, right?
Word of mouth to this day is hands down the best kind of referral. Word of mouth is the most trusted referral process known to man still. No marketing can beat that.
So there you go. You can ask a couple of questions around, find out who you want to go with, but then at least now you know safety guards, railings, proper hardware. You want to vet the contractors.
Yes.
Make sure they have some experience.
Very important.
And know that you're already investing a lot of money on this project of you.
No need for headaches.
No need for headaches. You don't want to be getting sued.
Save friendships, money, and headaches.
Yep.
Those are the three things that you will save by making sure you take the proper steps to build this, okay?
So business owners, protect your invitees, protect your business, homeowners, protect the people that come to visit your house, protect your family, protect your kids. If you're injured in someone's home or someone's business, give me a call to know your rights.
If you want to build better, give me a call. Be more than happy to help.